Yeah, we'll kick things off then, guys. This is session 4 of our Fool's Landing campaign set in the Forgotten Realms. And today we have 6 players ready to go. So we'll pick up with some player introductions. Guys, if you could I'll call you off from left to right on my screen. And actually, I'm going to go left or right to left on my screen and have you introduce yourself and who your character is. First is Mike.
I'm Mike. I play Hamden Grimax. I'm a level 1 fighter, and I've been absent the last 2 sessions, and I have no idea where we're at.
We have a good explanation for that we'll get to in a moment, but welcome back. Glad to have you back.
Glad to be back.
And they're going to need you, and they could have used you last time too. We'll get through the recap here, which will fill you in a little bit better, hopefully. But yeah, welcome back. And then we have Chris. Hey, Chris.
Hey there. First level mage, wizard, generalist, and full elf. Been traveling around and into other societies, human and otherwise, and on the boat with the rest of them.
Sure comes in handy being an elf right now in this current
Yes,
setting
indeed.
too. Yeah. All right. And next I've got Ronnie, or I'm sorry, Rodolfo.
The one and the same. Rodolfo playing Ronnie, the now second level thief, as working up in progress.
Yes, and definitely took some chances last session that probably have to have you recap separately because there was 2 storylines going on, which was fun. Yes, absolutely. There was some really good scenes from last session. Next is Nate. Nate, you might be muted, Nate, on Discord, possibly. Yes, sir.
Sorry about that, flipping back and forth.
All good.
Yes, I play Ervalor, who is a Elven Ranger. I wasn't here last time, so last I left him, he was in something of a hairy situation in the bottom of a boat filled with hostile people. Hostile beings of some sort. I'm blanking on the specifics. But yeah, I would love to find out what happened to him. It sounds like it was fun last time, so...
Yes, we may have made things hairier along the way,
yeah?
so we'll see.
Awesome.
Yes, awesome. Welcome back.
Thank you.
And then we've got Adam.
Yeah, I'm Adam. I'm Bartholomew Adams. It seems like an obvious choice, but I'm a cleric, human cleric, and I seem to have had, I guess in brief, a bit of luck last time when it comes to martial and rolls of chance.
Yes, you did. Yeah, and there was some
Much
good
better.
combat for sure. Awesome. Last but not least, Brian.
Yeah, howdy, I'm Brian. I love this game. DM Jamie. He lets me
Thank
play the everyone's favorite little crazy nature girl from the wild coast of Greyhawk. Sent on to a freighter at 13 by her order, the Priory of Alana of the Forest, the goddess of the woods. Traveling an entire year to be here and making a fat purse while doing it. To settle the earth-fast mountains into a sacred grove, human druid, the one and only Beijing Li Yowana.
Great. Yes. And so that brings us to welcome everybody back. And we'll pick up when we'll do a little recap from where we left off last session. I think we took care of just a couple administrative things. Ronnie's got his hit dice. Kurza, you had some charges that you needed to roll for your ring, and you rolled that. So you've got 10 charges on that Ring of the Ram. Correct. Okay.
Yep.
Excellent.
And Nate, I've been using your bow a bit. So you may be down a couple arrows.
That's all right.
Hopefully, I put them to good use.
I'm going to have 2 clovers, so...
Yes, and then there are XP awards in the journal. You guys should see the XP award handout for last session, so you can add that up and continue to track that towards your total. Just Ronnie crossed the line, but others are getting close, so it's starting to build up. And I think that brings us to the recap. So would anyone like to take a crack at a recap from last session and fill us in on some of the happenings? Kevin was typically taking over the role of the teller, but he is currently not here, so we have others in and move Kevin out, it looks like.
Well, maybe Ronnie should start
that.
because we met up with him halfway through, right? For the climactic ending.
Yeah, that's not a bad idea. Yeah, Ronnie, how about you start your tale of last session because there
Right.
was a lot of different things there.
Okay, I'll try. Please bear with me. Sorry for the stutterish. Let's say, following my notes here, I was in the boat beside the walk. Great, like Carvalho here. He was still in the boat while the landed the beach of the boat. And I went ashore out of the box. I was still in the box. I tried following. Wagon carried the crate to a cave system. Some caves which are some water in the forest. There was some surrounding parts along the way. I evaded one or two, and also inside the cave, the tunnel, there was a surrounding guarding the passage, the others, the crates. As Ronnie is a little bit of a devil, he used some skill to take the attention from the door. I use a coin to put in the water to make him curious. When he banked in the pool to reach for the coin, I stabbed him. And from that point, it was a fight of two persons with a sight in the darkness. The first who hit lives, the first, the other died. And I was hit, badly hit. It was left 4 hit points, instead of 2 hit points. But I use an ink vial to blind the surrounding while I throw some rocks by the green. When he was dead, I proceeded down the corridor, and I found the rest of the guys fighting 2 or 3 surrounding towards the back. There was some blocking my vision. I couldn't see right away what was happening, but I could help. I throw some rocks at the surrounding, and further throw some magic missile at them, if I recall correctly. And Bartholomew hit them. Mike Gavin used his sword to parry the surrounding attacks, saved them, I'm sure. Then Brian was the highlight, literally the highlight, since he used the fair fire on the surrounding, and as it was playing dark, it saved the day.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah, exactly. And so they were in their own fray as Ronnie was tracking you, Ervalor. He was following them carrying your chest and followed them in that direction, and then eventually ran into the rest of the party who were engaged in combat with several Sahagin. And that's where we'll pick up here in a moment. Thanks, Ronnie, for that. I don't know if I missed anything or what else we may have missed. I know the rest of the group was wandering in a different area, and we'll have the map up here in a minute. Does anyone want to scribe for today, just to keep track of any loot or anything in the party inventory? That's assuming I give you anything, but
There's
I
that.
could make it real easy. I could make it real easy. I'm kidding.
Thank
Thanks, Nate. All right, cool. And then the lore keeper is just anybody keeping notes. I'm going to nominate Ronnie since he kept such good notes there and pretty much retold everything for us. That way we're filled in. And if you guys want to change the order for any reason at this point, it makes it easier for me to copy from here and bring it in. So you've got your single file marching order here, and then watch order are probably the most 2 important things. So if you do take a rest, I'll be able to reference the watch order for the most part, the marching order at this point is completely up in the air based on the situation. So you don't necessarily have to declare that here, but watch order may be something you'll want to think about. And
No, I'm sorry. Carry on.
I think that's it. I think that's all I had as far as those pieces. Any other questions before we jump over to the map, guys?
Who has armor? Real armor, not just leather.
I do.
Does studded leather count?
Was that as Mike said that?
Yeah. Hamden's got it. I
Right,
got
Can we get you to move to the front?
absolutely.
Please do.
File forward, please.
Who's the one in front of Ronnie?
There you go.
Do you have
That's
What are
Curza.
you saying that?
Do you have a spear?
Nope,
Can we trade places and you can go to the rear?
not a problem.
Can you
Right,
get
everybody got armor on the front and a spear with reach behind it. That's about the best we're gonna do.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Yep, good call.
Yeah. And then what's the double file thing where you left the elf with
That-
light hair is the ranger?
yeah,
I have a pretty low AC because of my dex, so I do not mind being up front.
All right, do we want to change the healer and the dwarf around? And we'll just call the double marching order good. And then my job's done for the day.
yeah, thanks.
Sounds good.
And then watch order. We don't have an elf in the second one, but I
Put
got
me in there.
Ronnie, and that's fine. There's not one of us is going to have to do without an elf tonight. That's fine. It's me.
We've got a dwarf and an elf together in the watch order. So you can put me forward with Ronnie then.
Let's trade places.
That kind of.
Yeah.
Oh, we've got an extra air velour in there. How'd that happen? There we go. He's everywhere.
Because
Were you meaning to be there?
dwarves have the infra vision. Dwarf has night vision.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
There we go.
All right.
I'm done.
Perfect. Thanks, Brian.
I want my XP.
It's been earned. All right. Cool.
I only need another 1,000 or 1,500, somewhere in there.
It's possible. I'll cut over to the map. I think everybody right now has a different level of vision here. So I don't know exactly what each of you are seeing, but you should all, other than Nate, who I will address here in just a second, everyone else should have vision and have some familiarity with what you're looking at here as far as where we left off. Anyone having any issues finding their character? Mike, you're down here. What we're going to do is, my thought just narratively is that Hamden was perhaps left responsible to keep an eye on the boat and has now eventually heard a lot of the fray that's going on inside of the cavern and made his way towards the group. So I'm going to drop you into the room. You're going to basically walk into this room and see Ronnie next to you. You'll see there's a small pool in the center of the room. And you'll see Curza, Lee, and Bart, and we're going to remove Kermwin for now. And so you see several dead Sahagin in this room that look like they have been poked and prodded in many different ways by your peers. And so you're able to catch up with them at this point, and I'll drop it in here into the room where you guys can pick it up and decide what your next action is going to be. And then I'll cut over to Nate in just a moment.
Okay. My character starts to do a kind of a little celebratory dance. Says, "Yay! We did it! Yay! We're still alive!"
I'm going to say, what happened in here? What are you guys doing? How did you manage to kill all of these things?
I shot him with a bow.
What's up, buddy?
Bart might hold up his staff, and I'd imagine there's, at least a little bit of viscera on it from a couple of good whacks he got out of it.
I'll do the cross sword things with Bart. I'll hit his staff with my spear. Crack! Little high five.
And Lee was doing she was using the spear from behind the front line and stabbing them from behind the front line also on top of the fairy fire. So she had a really particularly good strategy there. And so you definitely see the aftermath of this as you come into the room. You guys all make eye contact. And again, I'll give you an opportunity to make an action here as a group, or each of you individually if you decide to do something. What I think is worthy here to note too is everybody just should see that your hit points are mapped to your token now. You should see the total displayed over the top as far as where you're at. So that should be working. And when you go to subtract hit points or add hit points now, you can just do that from your token. Just do a plus or minus in the red circle when you click on your token, and then it should adjust everything for you that way. But anything that you guys wanted to do, I guess the one thing to mention that it was Ronnie would have at this point, you would very likely want to fill in the group on what led you in this direction.
Where'd you come from? Check the Sahakwan for, I don't know, gold and trinkets and other
I
stuff
came
maybe.
from,
And
From
I'll
here?
start to look around, and then I'll drop my spear and I'll look at my hand and I'll look around and says, "We're missing 3 of us. Where's the other ones?"
That's true. I don't see 3 of us.
Oh, who's missing?
you have to move around.
Hamden, Ronnie, and
You may have to take
I
a
don't
step
bother.
forward or backward,
there we go.
and then it should
I see
retract.
now.
Very well. The our damned human eyes are not
Yeah, I'm
working
gonna
well.
light up a torch.
Okay, let me get you a torch. 1 second. Let's see. First trying to load.
Maybe,
Yeah.
maybe look for my lady bullets around the ones on fire. They are recoverable.
Yeah, you can recover them. You can recover them from this scene.
It's an enclosed space, I think.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Okay, from
For
here,
sparrows too.
There we go. Okay, so
there's a tunnel over here in the back. And there's a pool of water. Beyond the pool, there's a passage leading to the outside. There's a guard there. I pass around him. So I think he's still there. I think we have to investigate this section here.
Where we are now.
Yeah.
and he's moving.
This wish. Since we still need to find Ervalor. The
But
other part to the south, I think you came from the east, right?
I'm gonna say, "Where is Ervalor?"
Yeah, let me cut to Ervalor for a second. So
Sure.
let me fill you in a little bit on what you would have been aware of. So you were sitting in a crate in session 2, and you were aboard the ship. Once it landed here, and Ronnie slipped off the side, and you were still in the crate. He observed them carrying you off. He tracked them to this side of the layer, and that's where he ran across the other melee. You felt that the crate you were in was being carried. You had awareness, and you were able to look through some of the cracks and things that you had fashioned in the crate so that you could get some bearing that you were being moved through cavern. And you were ultimately brought to a room where you heard some different voices that sounded a little bit more distinct than the voices that you'd been hearing up until this point. And you are in a crate in a enclosed room, and I think you should have some vision here. Let me know if you do or don't. But
I have a little bit.
okay.
Yeah,
Let me
I
take
can see
a look.
I can see everything around me.
Let's see.
I can see like
Right.
maybe 3 squares at most
Okay.
around.
Yeah, so
Okay.
that's an enclosed room that you can see from
Okay.
the cracks in there, and you get the sense that there's at least 3 Sahagin in the room with you, and
Mhm.
you're still hidden in the chest, so you're safe for now. But you get the sense that this is maybe the processing area where they're opening things and looking through them, that sort of stuff. So I'll give you an opportunity if there's anything you want to try to do. I'm not trying to encourage you to take any crazy risk, but if there's anything you'd like to do or observe or
I'm forgetting. I think that I took my blades with me, my swords, but
did. did.
I did.
Your
My short bow.
your bow is, I
My
think
bow, yes.
we left.
Yes.
Yeah, but it turned out you probably could have brought it, but it ended up doing Kurza a lot of good.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they have my short bow with him.
Okay.
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 So what I am going to do, I haven't heard much of the melee going on, or like my friends or companions in danger. Like, I haven't heard too much of that, right? Like, it doesn't, assuming that it doesn't feel like at any point I needed to go help somebody immediately, then I think there's no benefit to breaking out and attacking. What I do want to do is basically ready myself, have my blades drawn and ready to like spring out if they start to open the crate and attack one of them. Basically,
Ready
I know
to
I'm not
attack.
a thief, but sneak attack, basically. Try to get the jump on them. Just be poised
Okay.
and ready for that.
That's great. So I guess if you would just go ahead and do a group initiative roll or a 10-sided roll so that I know what turn you'll go on if they do
Sure.
try.
Sure. Group and then roll 20. Where do I roll initiative? Let's see.
You can
Here.
do the group initiative on the lower left, or you can just do the dice roller on the left.
Left. I'm sorry. Oh, percentile. Is it under percentile?
The one
No,
next,
it's not.
there should be one next to it that says group initiative.
There might be hidden ones or something. I'm not seeing it.
Oh,
I'm
okay.
sorry.
No, that's all right. I may not have them all set up correctly. I would just go to the dice roller on the
Yeah.
left-hand side and do a D10. So
Yeah,
that's
I can do that.
yeah, no problem. And then when we'll cut back to the other group here. So Ronnie, you led the group. I'm gonna say that you're the one that's hot on the trail that is leading the group towards the northwest side here. When you come into this area, you see some bedding and some crates laying around, and you hear a noise around the corner as you come into the room, and forward steps this Sahagin. So go ahead and roll a group initiative for us, and I'm going to have the Sahagin go against you here. Ooh. That would be some good damage there. You might get it done.
Wish. Great.
Who wants to do we got it. So 5. All right. So 3 and 5. So if for those of you that are here in this corner, you'll go ahead and add your weapon speed or your casting time to that 5, and we'll get you all added to the turn order. So you'll need to edit.
There is more holding you around the corner.
Oh, no. My bad. I just cleared you guys out. Okay, there we go. So now, again, everybody will start from 5. Yeah, there's a Sahagin. Do you see him on your screen? Maybe he's just around the corner on you there.
Yeah.
But he's stepping out. I'll pull him out that way.
Okay.
All right. So Art's got his quarterstaff in hand. So it would be a 9 added to the 5 here.
Okay, so you can just do 14 in there. Just go ahead and add the 5 to your weapon speed, and
I think the speed of the quarterstaff is 4.
okay. Oh, okay. I thought you were saying.
Yeah.
I got you.
Come on, it's a 9. But yeah.
Where do you find weapon speed?
It should
Oh,
be.
yeah.
It's on the weapons tab on roll 20.
Oh.
Right next
Interesting.
to your
Okay.
weapon.
I'm wondering. I don't know if. Okay.
Yeah, it looks like we don't have yours. What weapon are you using?
I don't think I recorded it. Longsword, short sword. So
Art.
you
No,
attack.
third spire.
5 for the long
5.
sword, and what's the 3 for the short sword? Something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
2 for the dagger.
Yep, that's it.
I can't find a staff or quarterstaff on this list.
5, 2.
That's weird.
The quarterstaff should be 4
Yes.
as far as weapon speed goes.
Yeah. Strangely, it's not on this weapons list.
That's weird. I'm not. Which list are you looking at? Was it?
Yeah, it's in the player's handbook. Quarterstaff. Speed factor 4. All right, so you should be 9 then, Chris, on yours, I believe. Who are we missing? I've got the.
I'm not seeing a token for myself actually on the turn order thing. Maybe I'm missing something.
Oh, I'm sorry, Nate. Yeah, I wasn't gonna force you to attack. I was assuming you're still ready,
I
and
am.
I pulled you out
Yeah.
of the turn order for this little fray.
That's
Um,
fine.
okay.
That's fine.
Okay,
So
there we
I
go.
think we've got all of them. We'll go ahead and sort this. All right, so Ronnie, you're gonna act simultaneous to the Sahagin that stepped out. So you can go ahead and roll.
I will throw the dagger. I don't know if she's sorry. I don't know language. Dagger. Yeah. It's not my magical dagger, okay? It's a common dagger.
Got it. Got it. Just in case, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's wrong.
Let's go. Sorry.
Sorry. On your sheet,
It.
yeah, we'll need to populate yours too, Nate. On your character sheet, you'll want to fill out your weapon
No
row,
weapons.
and then there's
I
a
did, but
20-sided die there.
I changed it
Yeah,
myself.
real points.
I was still a little confused.
So you hit it dead on with that shot. AC 5 will hit.
Okay.
Go ahead and roll
Damn
your damage.
Damage is down. Here. Dagger. Damage. Slow me down. Make
What's that? Oh, you got it. 1 damage. Okay. All right.
this time. Flesh wound.
A good thing being the first to draw blood, right? But he is swinging at the same time. He's actually spearing towards your direction, and so he's stepping up this way to take a stab towards you. Oops, that way. There we go. Roll this one out loud. I think your AC is 7, so looks like he has struck you with the spear in your shoulder, and we're gonna roll 4 damage. 1 damage in return, so a little bit of tit for tat there. Not bad, but blood already. We go next to Kurza. Kurza, you would have seen, obviously, both of the strikes right to your left there.
Yeah, I'm not real keen on getting up close to him, but let's see. Let's try. Yeah, let's throw a dagger at him. What the hey? You never knew. I might actually hit something. Or not.
I hit wide.
Yeah, I was thinking, no, that didn't work.
That's a miss, yeah. Okay. Anything else you wanted to do? You're able to move still. If you wanted to reposition. All right.
I think Bark might be, at this point, seen whispering off over his shoulder, talking to someone who's not there, and feeling emboldened after the last encounter, that he might actually step up with his quarterstaff in hand with some bits and pieces of Sahagin on it, as it were already, and take a swipe at it.
All right. Feeling emboldened. I like it.
It might be ill-fated, but
Oh, goodness.
ooh, no, it's
Yeah, I think you would have got your attack off possibly, but maybe in the midst of repositioning, it was not as easy for you to get the shot off that you envisioned when you stepped forward. But at the same time, it's a bold move. So you put yourself now between the Sahagin and Ronnie, which is another big step. Anything else that you're wanting to do?
nope. I think that's.
All right.
I'll stay
And
here, stalwart with my stick.
ready for the next one. All right. So Lee.
I'm going to try to talk to it in common first, but using all the languages I know. I'm going to tell it that if it drops its weapon, tells us where they took the cargo that came off that ship, I'll be more than happy to let it live. And I'm gonna try to squeak past it if I can. Kind of, I'm pretty little, DM Jamie, so I might be able to using my shield and my spear. Of course, I got my torch in my one hand, and my shield hand, and my spear. I'm just gonna try to like kind of push past it to make some room because I know there's better fighters than me behind me. If you know what I'm trying to get at, trying to push him away a little bit, and squeeze in.
Do you have vision?
Oh,
Do you have vision now, Ryan?
I have a torch.
Okay. Just make.
Oh, I don't know. Let's see how that. Yeah, it worked good.
Okay.
I'll show you what it looks like in the Discord. I'll give you a picture. Let me get a bigger one. Put me over here real quick. Sorry, just here we go. Hold on, let's see how light it. How
Okay.
much light this gives us? I don't know. Can you see me well enough? My token?
I see it. I see it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's not bad. There is definitely light coming off of it.
Let me see if I can make it 25. I think it's supposed to be 25. Okay.
A torch? I don't know. I got the player's handbook open. I can start looking that up.
Okay. Let me know. I'll adjust it. But as long as you can see, I know you were flying blind as well. All right.
Nope, torch. 15 minutes, 30 minutes, and 15 feet is what it says.
Oh, really?
Page 119.
15. Okay. That's stricter than I thought.
Less
Okay.
than I thought. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not good to be.
Where did she go? There she is. I keep trying to click on her and I'm clicking on the Sahagin. All right.
So does it respond at all to my trying to speak to it in common, dragon? I also speak elven, giant. Probably not.
I think that if anything, it would have recognized perhaps some of the common tongue. And I'm not sure what words you would have used to try to trigger or elicit a response in that short of a time.
Okay.
Is there anything that you're thinking that you would have said in common that what specifically?
That if he drops his weapon and shows us where the points to where the freight came, I'll be more than happy to let him live. He can live. Promise.
Okay. You can do a charisma check. I'm going to have him do a wisdom check and see how he reacts to your suggestion.
My extremely high charisma. I'm gonna roll a reaction roll.
Yeah.
Can I have any pluses or minuses? I'll keep adding. Doesn't even
You can have
understand.
some minuses if you. Okay. All right. You notice that your words get the fishman's attention as far as what you say. It's registering, but it doesn't look like he's agreeable to it. So you definitely got some type of response where he made eye contact, seemed to register what it was you were proposing, but looks a little desperate and does not respond to it in any meaningful way right now as of this moment, but he still has a turn. That should
Okay.
do it. That should bring us to our
And was I able to squeeze past him at all to clear a space that I was in? Just pushing.
You're able, yeah, there's enough room there because of the scale here that you would have easily fit your 90-pound frame around him and stayed essentially engaged. Yep.
I think it's 99, sir.
You haven't had any rations lately, so it might be 89.
I haven't had any sleep either.
Okay.
All right, thanks,
We'll
DM
take
Jamie.
care of both. Sure. We'll go to Hamden.
Okay, I have a question real quick. I get 3 attacks every 2 rounds with my battle axe and specialized in it. How does that work?
So the first round, right now, you'll be able to take the attack regularly. Next round, you would also take it at the regular time that you have in the turn order, and then your third attack would come at the end of the second round. Be like the last action, you would get an additional attack.
Okay.
Usually you'll add 10 to your second. You'll create a second attack on the alternating round, and you'll add 10 to whatever you rolled. But in this case, just usually go last with your second attack.
Okay, sounds good. I'd like to move up and engage.
Okay. All right. can step forward there then. There's plenty of room to stand next to Bard and by Lee, and you are definitely able to reach this thing with your axe from there. So swing away. Oh, and indeed he did. All right. You are immediately able to find a clear shot at the now well-flanked Sahagin. Tell us where you're aiming that shot, Hamden.
I'm going to aim that for his spear arm.
Okay. All right. And let's see how much damage that thing does. Because it is certainly a hit. 4 damage. All right. You are able to connect a solid shot to his other arm. And you get a reaction from the Sahagin at that point. He, basically winces and pulls that arm back off of his spear, is now holding his spear with one arm because of the damage that he just took from your axe. All right. This brings us
Hey,
back.
Jamie,
Yeah.
I don't think I
Sorry, Pat.
calculated my damage correctly.
Throwing dagger.
Your
Oh, no, never mind. I did. Yeah, I did. Never mind.
Rate of fire.
D8 plus 3. I'm sorry, Rodolfo?
I have a second attack with your dagger.
Oh, okay.
I want to add 10.
Got it. I'll add your
Yeah. 17.
yeah, I'll
13.
add another turn for you
Okay.
for that one if you want to go ahead and put that in and take a shot.
And I think it's, guys, we have to have a new rule. We don't play without the dwarf ever again.
And while you're doing your second attack, Ronnie, I'm gonna add Ervalor into the turn order now. And I forget, what did you have again, Nate? For when we had rolled earlier, was it?
Forget the second attack. Forget. I
Okay.
drop it
Missed.
the floor.
I had
Because of one, it's a 1, net 1.
Oh, fun. Sorry, go ahead, Nate. What was it again?
oh sorry, I had a long sword and short sword readied.
So you are 9 if you were using the
Yes,
or 8 or 9, like that. All right.
that's right. And when I hear all this nonsense going on, I'm gonna, if I can, kick open the
Well,
lid.
I was just gonna give you that
Yeah.
chance. So what I'll do is
Yeah.
just have you a part of now this round, and you can jump in at 9 and take some action, because what you're noticing now is that the noise in the chamber is echoing, and you're seeing the Sahagin in the room with you head towards the door. So you're seeing an opportunity for yourself to make a move, and we'll get there in one sec. So Ronnie, you've got this second turn. Again, make sure
Okay.
you're adding the 5 to whatever it was. So for your second attack, it'd be the 18, right? That's should be like that. And then Hamden, you get another attack this round. So I'll add a second turn for you, and that one should be 22.
All right. Okay.
So I think we're good. It is basically a gang against one Sahagin. That Sahagin is got a few injuries, but he's not quite jacked up yet, as they say. So he is still embattled with you and is now at this point turned his attention towards the dwarf, who has struck him very solidly with the axe shot. So he's turned and is taking a spear stab towards Hamden. We'll roll it out loud here. And he misses terribly with his offhand, as the injury is keeping him from grabbing his spear as he normally would and thrusting it forward. Misses very badly, and it moves now to Ronnie.
No, not that. Just to let me feel happy.
No, it's your turn. He's
Okay.
done.
Alright.
He did take an attack and missed.
I will stab him with my magical dagger.
You'll need to
You
step
look
forward a
over.
little,
Okay.
and you can absolutely attack. Yep. AC 5.
Here.
Yeah.
Okay. Here I have to add a +1. Words. There goes. Enough. 5.
That would be a miss. That would be a miss.
Yep.
All right. Then that brings us to Kurza. You are in the corner there.
Yeah. What is this back wall made out of back
It's
here?
it's
Is that
rock
water
and
or-
stone. It's just stone and rock.
Okay. I was wondering whether it led to another
There,
piece of water like the other rooms or not.
yeah,
Okay.
no, there's no.
It's actually a
not
wall.
that.
All right. I guess I'll move up and whack him.
I like it.
What weapon are you going with?
Quarterstaff.
All right.
Is he flanked? Does that give me a bonus of any kind? Or is that something you factor in?
There's no bonus at this point.
A miss.
All right. Yeah. So your quarterstaff attack is you're unable to get him right now. He is certainly in a bad spot, but you still weren't able to get the shot to land true. Anything else you wanted to do? You could move again or move further if you want, or I don't know what other options you might have. And that then brings up Bart, who is face to face with it, the Sahagin.
I think he's going to continue with the same strategy and just train through his staff into its face once more.
Yes. All right.
Hey,
Yeah.
he's awesome. Let's see. There is the, let's see, quarterstaff. Ouch. There it is. 2 damage.
All right. So that was another quarterstaff attack, and this one connects and drop him down 2 more points. He's looking a little bit more haggard now after that hit, and it brings up anything else you want to do? Sorry, Bart.
Nope.
Position?
I'm just standing here. I'm trying to look tough. I look from side to side occasionally, like I'm looking for someone that's not with the party, but be a little bit nervous. Yeah, I don't belong here. You can see that I'm just in robes, basically, but I'm trying to make it work.
Yes, you're like the volunteer meat shield who has no business being there. You might be imitation meat at this point, but it's working. So,
Oh,
all right. So we have now, we cut to the other room. Ervalor, the 3 Sahagin, you've been peeking through the crack in the crate, who have been moving things in and around this room, have definitely heard some noise out in the hallway at this point, and they're headed towards the doorway. And so you get perspective here. You should be able to see basically the backs of 3 Sahagin that are
That's
headed
all.
out the door. So
Okay.
you have the option at this point to take an action.
I can't see anything else, can I?
Not through the door. When the door
Through the door.
opens,
Yeah.
you can definitely see outside the door that there's another larger room outside. Can't really see any people in there.
And I can certainly hear fighting going on in the other room, right?
You would hear it be echoing at this
Yeah.
point through the chamber.
Okay. Then I'm going to make a assumption, I think reasonable assumption, that the cavalry has arrived. So I think I am going to. It looks like there's one bigger. Here, I can click.
Yeah.
Maybe.
So
or I
you
thought
get
it
the
did.
sense you are able to observe over quickly. When you got there, you heard a more distinct voice of the Sahagin. And over time, as you were observing it, you noticed that there was a Sahagin in the room that has 4 arms.
Hmm.
And he is armed, more well armed than the other Sahagin that you have seen up until this point, and he is wearing a long robe. And so that's definitely noticeable to you. And he's the one that's closest to you at this point, walking towards the door. He's got 2
Wow.
other Sahagin in front of him that look like the ones you saw when you were on the ship.
Okay. I think I'm definitely going to attack that guy. So
And I'm going to change his token real quick to this one. But that's the same guy.
ooh, more ominous. Okay. Cool. Yeah, I'm gonna pop out.
Okay.
I guess right behind him. I don't know if I should move like there, but just basically, I don't know if he notices me or not, but 2 attacks.
All right. So you're like a jack in a box or an elf in a box. It
Yeah,
just pops up and starts
like
slicing.
that. Yep.
This is good.
Sorry, I always click away, but I know where to do it now. Okay. So 2 rolls. So this is for my longsword. For roll? No, I didn't. Okay. So AC 1 for the longsword. Should I roll for the other one or should I roll damage for this first if I hit?
You hit. Go ahead and do your damage.
Okay. Yeah.
Ooh.
Don't want to be presumptuous, but do I need to make another attack or should I make another attack? I don't know.
You'll get another attack. You will need to continue attacking,
Okay.
but
Okay.
you'll get that at the. What we'll do is
Oh, at the
we'll
end.
do a second turn for you. I'll add you
Yeah.
in now, and we'll make that one 19. So you get to get.
Okay, cool. Nice.
And let me make sure we're resorted here. Where were we? We were here. Kurza, you already went, so that for some reason it moved you guys back and forth. So now it's to the Sahagins that were heading out of this ring. They've gone through this door and they've moved in this direction. Those of you who are out here in battle with the one that's been surrounded hear noise behind you as two Sahagin come through that door and turn in your direction and charge. They are headed towards Kurza at this point. He's the most exposed to this Sahagin. So he's going to stab his spear towards the elf and roll it
Dear.
out loud.
That's
Call
bad.
it. This could be bad news for our resident
Oh boy.
mage. Yes. All right.
I'll be right.
I'm gonna roll the dice. Gosh, should I roll it out loud or should I roll it in so I can fudge it? All right. I'm gonna roll it out loud.
This is old school.
Oh, so Kurza, you
It's not good.
you essentially feel a spear plummet into the lower part of your back as you were not necessarily surprised by this thing, but weren't able to do anything to help yourself from its attack as it charged towards you, and it's now stuck its spear into some of your vital organs from behind, and you fall to the ground.
I hadn't expected it to move quite so fast
Yeah.
and be able to attack. Oh,
Yeah, unfortunately, it caught you too in a position where there was no other choice for its attack either. So that was a bad part of it. But yeah, he just had enough movement to get to you, and unfortunately, yeah. So that this brings up essentially that point that we have astonishing fortune. We've got 6. So whoever wants to track the 6 that we have, you can use the astonishing fortune to essentially move yourself to 0 hit points and avoid death, which seems like a
Do it.
fair idea.
I think so.
I think it's a very fine idea. Please do.
Yeah.
Alright.
Is there at 0 or at -0?
At 0, you fall unconscious. At -10, you're dead. You
Well,
were
I'd only be at -1,
But
but
you
that's
bleed
fine.
out, right?
no, you
But
you
I would bleed
actually
out eventually.
you actually would have been at -6 because it was critical
Oh,
hit.
doubled.
And
Oh.
which reminds me, we forgot to roll Ronnie's fumble earlier.
Yeah.
So we'll have to roll your fumble. But so go ahead and we'll mark that you guys are down to 5 of 6 astonishing fortune. And Kurza, what that means is that you'll just go to 0 hit points. You've spent your astonishing fortune to avoid going to below 0, and you're not dead, but you are obviously unconscious. All right. And I'll mark you just so we know you're down for now.
I saved the dwarf from being stabbed in the back.
It's true.
There is always another point of view.
All right. We'll just mark you with yellow for now. So you are laying unconscious, and the other Sahagin that's behind this one is coming in the same direction. He is closed in, and he probably would have gone after Kurza as well. But now that Kurza's laying unconscious or seemingly unconscious on the ground, this one steps in that direction and is going to target. I'm going to just roll to see which one of these two they're interested in. Bart, and they're going to take a attack towards him. And your AC is 10, it looks like. All right.
It's very bad. Yes.
And I'm rolling like unbelievably here. So it is a hit.
Wow.
But,
Yep.
but fortunately, it's not critical. So that is good. And I'll roll the. So another. Go ahead.
Bart's down too. Bart is at -1.
Yes.
that would put him at as well.
Yeah, so I guess really, as far as that's concerned, you wouldn't have needed to spend the astonishing fortune necessarily because you weren't reaching -10. This is just for Chris, but obviously you'll bleed out if you're not dealt with. For now, you still have your 6, and you can leave yourself at what it would have been -6, and then we'll
Yeah,
manage it
leave
from there.
6.
Yeah, we'll manage it from there. So if you fell below -10, then we'll spend the fortune because I don't want to take that from you guys yet. All right. Bart, you catch a spear as well from a stabbing Sahagin, and again, I think your run with no armor and being in the front line is maybe come to an end here for temporarily.
Wait,
And
this might
you're
be over now. Just as I'm getting my healer's kit out to help Kurza.
yeah, it's
taking a
like you're
spear.
falling towards Kurza, and Hamden would obviously have seen this. Everyone else in this room now would have seen this. We'll cut now to where are we? In the order I got lost here. We were at these two. Now we're at Lee.
Yeah, I got a couple things real quick.
I'm back. Sorry.
The throwing the ranged weapon into the melee and rolling a 1, isn't that bad?
Oh yeah, that's right. We got to revisit Ronnie.
Isn't there rules saying that that's like
Well,
worst possible outcome?
do a weapon fumble roll, Ronnie, on the macro tab or the collection tab, and we'll see what happened with your dagger that went astray. Okay, so yeah, it was just in this case a miss. Nothing necessarily happened. There are some options where you can hurt your allies, but yeah, in this case, it's a miss, and we won't have any negative effect necessarily, other than your dagger is across the room. And go ahead, Brian.
All right, and just for future use, I talked and then I moved 5 feet. In the future, if I talk and move 5 feet, do I still get an attack?
Yeah, it's a free action to talk.
Okay.
If you're trying to elicit a response and wait for a response, then you won't get an attack. But if
Yeah,
you
that's
just talk
certainly
and
what I
move
was
it-
attempting to do, D and
Yeah.
Jamie.
Yeah.
That was my intent there. I was just checking, just making sure. All right, this isn't looking good for us. I'm gonna kind of set down my bucket, and I'm gonna try to spear stab this one that came in
Okay, through the other two. Yep.
at range, over the head, maybe trying to get in this little sneaky shot. So I bring my spear over the head of the Sahagin next to me, and I will roll to hit.
AC's 5.
That's good news. I'm -3 for non-weapon proficiency.
All
That's
right.
showing.
It's a miss with the spear.
Yeah.
And anything else you wanted to do there?
No, I'm pretty good with where I'm at right now. Thank you.
All right. Is Mike back?
I am.
Perfect. You didn't miss a thing. You did miss some things. There are two of your party members laying now on the ground unconscious, and there are two Sahagin that have flanked you from behind or who are advancing, and so you can see there's one directly behind you. Actually, two of them right there that are now in the midst of this, and they dropped Kurza and Bart simultaneously. It's on you.
All right, I will turn to the one that's coming up behind me and make an attack roll.
Is this your 2 attack round, Hamden?
It is.
Yeah, I get 2 attacks this round.
It's good news.
Awesome.
There's a bunch of 2 attacks coming up here, which is great timing. Maybe a little late, but better late than never. That's a hit. That's a good hit. Yep. You're rolling low damage, but you're hitting stuff. All right, so that's on this one here. 4 damage to him as you fight over Kurza's body. It's just slumped there now. And so it is now to Ronnie. You have a second attack. I believe this is your second attack round. You're muted on Discord.
Oh, sorry. No, I have only one attack because I really now. That was the first round when I used 2 daggers.
Got it. Okay. Okay. Thank you. Appreciate that. Okay. Yeah, it's going to get a little confusing for those of you that have the second attack. It'll take me a bit to track it and get it right. So I appreciate that, the reminder. Perfect. Airvalor, you do get a second attack. So you can go ahead and take yours on the.
Sure. Quick question while I do that. I'm also specialized in both in swords. I don't know. I know that affects like number of attacks, but it probably gets weird with two weapon fighting, or it probably doesn't matter. I don't know if you know the rules off the top of your head for that, but I do not know.
So you're fighting two-handed.
Two-handed. Yeah, with weapons, I'm
Raging,
special.
get it for free.
Yeah.
Raging, get it for free.
Yeah, so you're able to do that, but are you asking would the order be different? Is that what you're asking?
I'm asking if I only had one attack per round, or sorry, if I were fighting with one weapon, I would still get
3 for 2.
3 for 2, right?
Yeah.
For
yeah.
being specialized. I'm specialized and two weapon fighting. I don't know how those interact.
So you're
Not trying to like
right. You're thinking
No.
then, yeah. So like the first round,
don't-
you would get 2 attacks, and then the second round, you might get 2 attacks with each
I
of
don't
the
know.
specialized weapons. I'd have to look into that a little bit just to
Okay.
double check it. But for now, you certainly have 2 attacks.
Yeah, that's fine.
and-
Yeah. Okay. So this is
And you hit it again. It's a good roll.
sweet. All right. Go, baby.
Man, jeez. All right. You are.
That's a +2 for specialization right there. All right. A guy in robes.
You've essentially, you've done near max damage on it with 2 shots in 1 round. Hell of a round. And that brings us to that's a good introduction from the elf in a box. Coming back with a fury. Hamden,
My
you get your-
revenge.
yeah. Hamden, you have a second attack, I believe, this round. This is the one round you do get that.
All right, I will make that attack on that same creature.
Oh,
Pew, pew.
Damn.
now you're getting some rolls. And some damage.
Nice.
Okay.
Ooh, wow. Yeah.
All right. He is looking in terrible shape. He's hanging on by a thread. You have introduced this Sahagin to your battle axe, my friend, and done it well. And he is just staggering essentially at this point. Excellent. All right. That brings up then the top of the order. And that is our Sahagin friend that was originally cornered, who was considering Lee's offer, but now, given the new circumstances and the change of the numbers, seems emboldened to continue attacking and is going after Hamden in this case. Roll this out loud on you. There we go. All right, there's a miss on Hamden from the Sahagin, and that brings up Ronnie, I believe. Is that right?
Yeah.
7, you're using dagger?
Oh, I picked it wrong. Sorry. It's that
Well,
one.
stiletto.
No, it's my dagger. I picked another one. Yeah, but no.
Yeah, still a miss. All right. So a couple misses or a miss there. And now, Bart, you are unconscious at this point.
And it's -2 now.
Okay. Yes. We'll advance.
There it is.
And Airvalor, you can go ahead again. You are up. This thing has turned towards you. Essentially, this looks like a Sahagin who is about a foot taller than some of the others that you've seen. He's got this cloak with these 4 arms under it, and as he pulls his cloak back, you just see blades everywhere, and essentially is able to arm itself with 4 swords, um, and starting to unsheath them in front of you, staring at you as you've done a heck of a lot of damage to it by surprise. That's unfolding, and it's your turn.
Come at me, bro. I'm stabbing him in the face. Let's see.
Run for your life. Run.
That's a hit. That's dead
Is
on.
that it?
That's dead on.
Yay. All right, let's go.
How much damage did you do this time? Oh,
7 critical damage. What does that mean? I've never seen critical
why that
damage.
says, I don't know why that would say that.
Huh.
Because it was just a 1.
He
Yeah.
may have hit the crit if it on that.
Oh, maybe I hit crit. I'm sorry. I will re-roll that.
Okay.
I am sorry. Hey.
Hey, you know, holy, you're hitting your average right now is
Yeah.
wow. Okay. This this thing looks incredibly injured at this point, and that's amazing. You've done 20, what was it?
22.
22 damage and 3 hits
I
on
think
it.
so. Yeah.
Okay. Welcome back. So
Don't put Herbalore in a box.
it is now. Let me double check that. I think
I
we're
want
at.
to change my. I want to cast a spell, please. So I've changed my initiative order or whatever
Okay,
for the
let
new
me.
round.
I'll resort it. So you would have already gone. Your spell would have already gone off. You can go ahead and do it.
Yeah. I set down my bucket and drop the spear in my hand. I pull out this little piece of shamrock and my mistletoe from my hair, and I hold it out. And I say, "Anothing shillelagh."
Mm.
And then I pull this nasty looking club that just appears out of my bucket. That felt good. Thank you.
All right. So you have conjured a crooked stick to do some whacking with. Perfect. That brings up then. Now we're at Kurza. You are unconscious. You'll bleed out a point of damage, and Bart as well. So you guys are still laying there. The two Sahagin who dropped you are stepping again into the room. So we got one that's standing over Bart's body, one that's standing over Kurza's body. This one here on the left side is going for Ronnie,
No, please no.
and it's a miss. You are AC 7, so yeah, it's actually no, that's a hit. I'm sorry. AC 7, that's just what he needed. So we'll take 30 damage. So the Sahagin are continuing to land some shots. This one now is up next to Hamden. All right, we are rolling too well here. Roll 20. I'm gonna have to pick up the dice on my desk. Oh man, Hamden,
Oh.
Jeez.
yeah. We're gonna need a break here soon. Something's got to cool these dice off on my side. 6 damage from this Sahagin. The one that you had been going for was here. Go a step forward, so it's this one that just struck you. You'll take 6 points.
Think I'll need to get rated here.
All right, and it's Hamden's turn actually.
I'm going to attack the one that I was attacking. That's going after Ronnie, right next to me.
Okay. Yep, he is injured badly. You hit him.
Nice.
He will be dead, whatever you roll, but you may roll it. Oh my gosh. Oh man,
Right.
that's a lot of
Off
wasted
his head.
damage. But he is dead. I'm gonna mark that one dead. He slumps over next to Bart's body and is finished. Several axe wounds in its corpse. All right, that brings us now back into the room with Ervalor. Baron, as I will call him, has turned in your direction. He has a lot of damage and is essentially at this point fighting desperately for his life and is going to swing at you. And has connected, and my luck continues.
Damn.
All right. And he is pulling other weapons around as if he's going to get off additional attacks here later, but
Yeah.
it is now Ronnie's turn. I think, Ronnie, this is your second attack round, right? Is that right? You get 2
No,
attacks
I
this
don't
round
have
or not?
the
Okay.
second.
All right, I gotta pull you out that second one. But it is now to you, Ervalor.
It's right around me. This is really stupid, but where do I find my HP? I'm clicking around tabs. Anyway, I'll roll my.
Oh,
Yeah.
actually, the best thing is if you click on
Okay.
your token, you'll
Yeah.
see the 11 that pops up in the red bubble.
Oh, sweet.
And then if you click
Yeah.
in that bubble and then you just type like minus your damage and press enter, it'll do the subtraction for you, and it will update on your sheet.
So I had 11 and I lost 3. So unless you already did it.
I haven't done it. It.
Okay. Okay. I'll keep track.
Do
Yeah.
it -3, it'll calculate. But you missed him just barely with that attack. Again, you guys do have
Yep.
Astonishing Fortune that you can use for attack rerolls. I'm not saying that you have to do that here or anything, but we've salvaged your Astonishing Fortune up to this point because you haven't had to use them for the Fallen just yet. But just a reminder, that brings up Hamden. No, you don't have a second turn this time. That'll be next time. I think it's our initial Sahagin who's still standing here. He's in bad shape though, but he's just benefited from the fact that everyone's turned their attention towards the oncomers. So he's going to take a pot shot here at Ronnie.
No.
And he has hit you, Ronnie. Oh man. I have not seen this kind of luck with rolling attacks for a while. Let's see. Oh, and it's just enough to drop Mr. Halfling. It gets worse, guys. So there he falls. Let's take. I think we both did it there. Yeah, this Sahagin, again, this was the one that was in here that you guys were going towards, has now taken a shot to the halfling and dropped the halfling. So you've got 4 bodies laying across the floor in this room presently. And Ronnie will not get his turn, but Lee, you will get your turn. You're tucked away in the corner there.
Yeah. The club now. I'm going to swing at this thing.
I swear I'm not going for a TPK. It's not my goal.
TPK, TPK, TPK.
The dice want
So
it.
close.
Roll 20 really wants it.
Yeah.
At this point, it feels. Oh, that's a hit.
Hey, that's good.
It says it's 2d4 I have.
2d4.
It's the Shillelagh Club, right?
Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah.
See, is that the button? Cracked him for 5.
5 damage does it. That was
And
exactly what you needed.
That's my first round of Shillelagh.
All right. So this one is now fallen as well. Oops. Did I do that to you?
It should be the one closest to
Oh, I got him.
battle.
I got him. If for some reason it's wide. There we go. All right. There
And
are.
then I'm going to
Good.
say, tell your friends about Beijing Lee.
One of the only 2 standing in this room. I think the message will be lost here, but it's still great scene. All right.
Oh, the
So
only time I was in a TPK was in Thunderbolts. Was 20 years ago.
we are at Ervalor. Back to you and our Baron in the smaller side room here.
Oh, am I attacking or is he on me? Oh,
it's
it's
on
my.
you.
I'm up.
You're-
Sorry.
Okay.
I thought he was. All right. Yes.
All right.
Okay.
Yeah,
I'll take.
that is a hit.
All right.
You could potentially
When I
drop
grew
up
up,
here.
I want to be just like Errol.
Oh my goodness. So tell us
How did
These
you
are
finish?
loaded
How did you finish
These are
off
loaded
the
dice.
Baron?
dice. Possible.
I don't know.
Describe to us what would Ervaler's finishing shot look like here on the battered Baron?
Oh my god, that's such a good roll. Could I go for like a decapitation? Could I just like swing and literally I get
I think absolutely that makes
Okay.
sense. As staggered as he would
Okay.
have been, and as much damage as you dealt in a short period of time. So you
By my
behead this
count,
beast,
freaking unit.
and
They're the one like the damaging 4 hits.
if we're not going to be too specific about which sword hits which, I could be like with both my blades, just like slice his head off, right? Something like that.
almost like a
Image
pair
it.
of scissors. And
Yeah.
it's just completely pruning his head
Yeah.
from his body, and the
Mhm.
thud of the head hitting the ground sounds like a bag of rocks hitting the ground as well, and the thud of his body falling too would be pretty dramatic. Well done there. We've got one other guy left, it looks like. I'm going to mark the Baron as gone. And this one here that's next to Hamden is the only one that's left. Kurza and Bart will each take another point of bleeding damage. And this one that's remaining here is going to go ahead and just continue to strike forward in desperation. Let's see. Oops. Will my rolling continue? I'm afraid. Oh, it might continue.
We have loaded dice. Loaded dice.
2 damage to Hamden. You just avoided joining your fallen friends. You took 2 damage from the remaining Sahagin, and it is actually your turn, sir.
I'm going to smack him in the face.
Justifiable. We'll take a break after this, guys. And that is a hit, and that is going to do it because he is quite low. Let's see what you roll. Yeah. All right. All right. So we have cleared the room. You have cleared the room, I should say, of enemies, and the enemies have cleared the room of some of you. And so now we've got quite a scene with bodies strewn across the floor and a reunion about to happen. But we'll put it on pause right here and take a 10-minute break, maybe 5 or 10 minutes, and come back and pick it up right from here. Does that sound?
Congratulations, Balor.
Well done.
Yeah.
That was pretty
These
badass.
are
Right.
All right,
Thanks,
guys.
guys.
We'll
You
see you in
gotta
a few
do
minutes.
is grab the head and walk towards the other guy if he's.
That's true.
Anybody
It's a new
want this?
weapon. All right, we'll be right back.
It's a pity no one saw it. It will never believe him.
All right. I'm going to try to reveal more of the area so that you guys can see clearly.
I have bad news for you. No one will ever believe you did that. No one saw it.
So that's
Not even when I have the head.
It'll be like a
extended.
teacher that
Maybe it just fell off.
teacher was there.
Wasn't attached that well.
Yeah. He was sick.
that's a great point because Ronnie also has his own kills that are going to sound like tall tales in the tavern later. No one
Yeah.
saw, but this one's pretty convincing, I would say, because
I needed our
The end result's pretty incontrovertible. No matter
right.
whether it looked cool or not.
And they haven't encountered the Baron yet, so this being their introduction to the Baron is even all the more impressive, I would think.
I feel like-
Considering.
I feel like the Baron was supposed to be much scarier than he turned out to be just because of some hot dice rolls on my part. And so I'm sorry if I ruined
No, not
like
at
a good set
all.
piece.
The dice have cruel intentions in both directions, and
Yeah.
so you guys got messed up a lot more than the Baron, I would say. Actually,
Probably.
he did. You got a perfect combination of attacks on him, and then again you were just accumulating almost max damage. I think you must have hit like 90% of the damage that you could have hit in that time frame. Wow, welcome back. So
Nice to be back.
all
the
right.
guy you killed was meant to be the cherry on top of our TPK.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Well,
he might have been.
silver
If he had
lining,
gotten
yeah.
in there, you're right. That could have been. It was a slippery slope towards TPK. So I'll let you guys pick up from here. You are everywhere aware of the battle that happened out there, and I'll let you guys that are standing, who would be Lee, Hamden, and Everlore, discuss your next actions.
Okay, if the battle is over and Lee thinks she's won, she's doing that little celebratory dance again. Yay! We did it! We're alive! We're alive!
Says the only one who took no damage. The only one who took no damage in the
Lady
whole
Luck.
fray.
Lady
Perhaps you
Luck.
elicit a small spittle of blood from Bart as he's subconsciously aware of your celebration. It's a
Do we have any healing potions in the group?
I have half of one.
I think I've got one which I will happily give to whoever needs it.
So if I use a astonishing fortune, does that bring me to 0 again?
It will, and it will make you avoid the mortal wound. So I would recommend for those of you who are fallen, suspend the point, go to 0, and then heal from there to avoid the mortal. Which, if you do that, I think that brings you down to. Well, you haven't used any. I think
We used one,
used
I
one,
think.
so you'll have 2.
Who used the first one?
I don't think we had this round unless
No one use it.
We were about to, and then I told you didn't need to yet. We should wait.
Okay.
There was
Yeah. Okay.
The three of us uses one
Yeah.
each.
Yeah, so you'll be
Green,
3.
shoot.
Okay. And you guys are all at 0 now, and I don't know who wants to administer healing potions, but there are several in the group. Do you want to call out who's using which, and we'll apply them one
I
at a
would say,
time?
yeah, I'd say everybody use half a potion.
Cover you there, Kurza.
Can you use a half? I didn't know that was an option.
Yeah, it is.
Okay.
What is it? 1 die 4?
I will happily. Oh, I don't have my bag on me, but I'll say quickly in my things, I have a potion. I can help someone.
Okay.
I can only see the room that I was in. Like,
You can go ahead and move your token. Let me know if
will
you
that
can.
make it?
And then if you go
Well-
in there, it should open up. Hopefully, let me know if it doesn't.
Okay, hold
Oh,
on.
let's see.
Let me see.
If somebody feeds me my half a potion, I can wake up, so to speak.
You wanna go ahead and come over here, Nate?
Yeah, I can't move my token outside the bounds of like where I am.
Oh, that's right, because I dropped you in and you hadn't
I'm in
been out
darkness.
there. My bad. There you
No, it's fine. Here, I'll be.
Yeah.
There's-
So this is what you weren't seeing is this congested bottleneck of this was a
goodness.
meat grinder, and
Oh.
holy cow, a lot of injury.
Well,
Kurza, you're at 2.
my character will smile when she sees Ervalor approach. We did it! We're alive!
Some of you are alive. That's true. Let's heal the
Hopefully.
wounded.
No more healing potion.
What does that do for you, Adam? Is that the same for you?
Yep. If I was getting a hit potion, it was 2 for me as well.
And what you had already
some
consumed a half a
potion
potion
party?
before was my question.
No, it was
Okay.
the
Alright.
0 from the fortune, I think, astonishing fortune. Yeah.
Okay. So you still have 1 use left. Who else has? I think Ervalor has both.
Yeah, I had a full potion, and we can use it all up if somebody else needs
So
to.
I
Ronnie,
used my half on me.
we'll say that Hamden used that on you since you were out cold. But yeah, I got you. You're 2. And then who wants to do? Ronnie's down still. Ronnie's still out, and we'll say Hamden did both of these guys with their potions. Ervalor, you could give yours to Ronnie if you want to. I don't know which of you wants to roll that. You could do 2d4, Ronnie, or 1d4. I don't know if you're taking one or both, or how you guys want to administer.
Just half.
Got it? So you're back at 4, and you have at least that 1/2 left. Anybody else have anything they want to do here with healing?
Do we have a cleric?
Your cleric
He
is,
was unconscious.
You do now.
your cleric is, he just tapped out though. I had used all my cure light wound spells, and I think at the last session. So
Yeah, you did.
yeah, I might sue for a rest or a place to recoup our abilities in the near future, if we can find some place that's suitable. It would be my suggestion.
safe location. Where are we?
We're in
By
a
the way.
small. Are we in a small chamber? There's no ingress or egress besides the
Yeah, as far as what you can
small
see,
hallway, right?
I'm gonna reveal. You should be able to see this whole area. Essentially, that it's clear. All these red dots are the corpses of Sahagin. Just in terms of your group's makeup right now, you would be aware that Hamden is walking on the border of death. So he is the most injured of your group at this point. He's got a single hit point left. And you have this space that you're in that's enclosed. So it's only got one way in and out, but there's no door. Over here where Ervalor came from, oops, I'm trying to click. Over here, there is a door, and there was a room enclosed in there. You didn't necessarily get a chance to scan the whole area, but it was another room that had a door on it. And then back to the south, where you came from initially, there's a bunch of open areas and hallways that you remember. So,
Good things, Jamie. May I search the purchase?
yes, you may. Yes, you may.
The
And
one and
I
Errol want my ball back.
yeah. So you start to look through the corpses. Obviously, you've got several spears available to you. There's going to be at least 2 per Sahagin accounted for in the area. And you find 11 gold pieces as well as 33 silver pieces. And on the Baron, he has a scimitar, 2 short swords, and a long sword. Most of the other Sahagin are just wearing loincloth, but the Baron has also a large cloak on, and you're able also to recover any of your missile weapons or fumbled weapons as well through the course of the search. I'm gonna
Andy,
say again.
there was scimitar here. I heard druids use scimitars.
What was the amount of silver?
33.
33. Okay. I'm just making a note in the inventory.
Oh, there's this sleeping bag or something like that in this room. Did the Sahakwan actually sleep in that, or is that for a human or another land dweller? Is what I'm trying to figure out.
Yeah, that's a great question. You don't believe that a Sahagin would sleep in that type of bed. That's definitely, shall we say, fishy to you. Sorry.
Let's
Healing proficiency.
search the area, see what else comes up
Yes.
with that.
Yeah. Okay. I'm sorry. There was another question in there I might have missed. Somebody was asking something.
I do have the healing proficiency. I think it's useless unless I'm able to get to somebody within 1 round of the damage, though, from what I understand of it. Unless we're doing protracted day by day, I think I can enhance the innate healing that we would get just by doing rusting and whatnot. But yeah,
Yeah,
otherwise
it's
you know,
definitely
in,
yeah.
but
It's not a medicine check or anything that allows you to heal them instantly, unfortunately. But yeah, you'll definitely want to use that though, because that will come in handy.
that was my plan for when Curza went down, because I could have done, I think, a D3 if I get to them within 1 round. So I might have been able to help with that. Except I went down right after that.
Yeah,
It didn't. It wasn't.
It's rolling
yeah.
insanely, and yeah, the dice definitely have some crazy intentions this evening.
I'll either need to find my chainmail again, or maybe hide in the back a little further than I have been.
As you're doing your searches, you've obviously focused on the bodies. You've recovered those weapons, that coin. You're continuing to look around. Kurza, you're curious at one point, and you come towards this pit and look down, and you're able to get a clearer picture now amongst. And I don't know, for some reason it won't reveal. I think it's just blocked, but you'll have to theater of the mind. That little square, for some reason, is not going away. It's essentially stalag protruding from the water, and a pool of water that's sitting there. And between them, you see a lot of what look like orbs, shiny, slimy looking orbs. Seems like there's maybe dozens, if not a couple hundred of them down there that you can see amongst the water, the low water, shallow water.
Eggs.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too. How steep is this wall leading down? And how far down are they?
The water level is about 10 feet down from the ground level that you're on. The side of it is sloped, maybe like a little sharper, maybe like a 30-degree angle. So you could slide on it and not maybe get dumped all the way down if you wanted to gradually try to slide on it to get down to the water level.
Uh,
Are
Well,
there
let's
some
see.
or
check it out. I have some rope here. We can
Yeah, kind of rappel down and
So
toss up some eggs.
there were a
Or
couple
li-
before you guys do that. I heard another question. I just wanted to make sure I didn't.
Oh, yeah, I was just asking if they were submerged or not.
They are submerged. Yeah.
Okay.
And they're just a few inches though below the water. They're not
Right.
deep. It's not very deep.
Okay.
Yeah. All right.
Throw a piece of flesh down there and see what happens. Into the water.
Dead.
Like a
Sahagin.
finger of a Sahagin or a
Yeah.
fin of a Sahagin or something.
Head.
Something like that.
Or a head of a baron.
Whatever's handy.
That might, yeah. So yeah, you can toss it into the water and you don't see any reaction. Amongst the eggs, like small fish, nothing like significant or nothing large, like just these little, almost, what am I trying to say, tadpoles kind of swimming around in the water.
Let's just take the quarterstaff and crack them open.
Yep. Absolutely.
All right, so you're just wanting to try to crack an egg and see what happens?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so you're able to easily hit them. There's so many of them that you can jam the bottom of your quarterstaff into the water and the eggs crack open and just some fluid and things that emerge, but essentially you get the sense that they are Sahagin eggs and that they were laid here and that this must be a pool that they're using to raise almost like a nursery for the Sahagin. And
Yeah,
there's so many eggs that it would be unrealistic for you to sit there and individually crack them all. Yeah, and they're also between stalagmites along the bottom in nooks and things that you wouldn't easily be able to reach without walking into further into the water and away from the edge. Just to be clear about that.
So we raided a daycare.
You are
Basically.
no longer allowed
So-
in freedom of school.
Yeah.
It was
Oh.
or it was a brood of sea devils. You could look at it that
okay,
way
yeah,
too.
that's-
But true.
That's
Yeah.
easier to easier to rectify. There you go.
Only I had a whisk.
They didn't have good intentions with you all. I
Yeah.
don't know that you should reciprocate, but that's your prerogative. So anything else you want to do, Kurza, while you're at water level?
Is there a little tunnel right here?
Is there anything of note down here? And
Yeah,
does
there
the
is.
ceiling look any different from this vantage point?
So let's do, I think yours is a D6 because you're an elf. You don't notice anything else peculiar about the area. Looking up, looking around from the bottom, it seems just like it appears from the top to you. And for Lee, that is a hallway off to the east. That's the direction that Ronnie pursued Ervalor, and that's where Ervalor was brought from that direction. Actually, let me see if I can reveal. I'll go ahead and reveal that section for you.
You know what? I think I'm going to go all the way around and we'll search for secret or concealed doors just for the kicks of it.
That'll help too.
I'd like to check out
I want to search the creeks.
Demi-humans.
One sec. So, all right, searching in the eggs further yields a small area that you can tell that's between some of the stalagmites. That until you're standing on top of it, you can't tell, but there's an area that you can reach into on one of the stalagmites, and inside of it is a key.
Is a what?
A key.
Key?
Yes. It
Oh, let's grab that key.
is a key. It is a silver key, in fact. And you do see what looks like some writing on the key. I'm not sure which languages you're familiar with.
Let's see. That I have several. Ancient languages, modern languages,
Okay.
modern languages. So that would be Common, Elvish, Orc, Halfling. Probably nothing. I'm
I'll
not sure what the ancient languages gives me, though.
Yeah, look that one up. I'll say this: if you're already proficient in some extent with an ancient language, you would have a strong feeling that this is an ancient language. But if you look that up, let me know. And someone else, I'm sorry, was trying to investigate something else. Um,
Yeah, that was me. I wanted to check out the room that had the door.
the room that had the door. Yeah. Okay. So that's another area. Should be able to reveal this. Are you able to see in that room now, perchance? Oh, okay. You gotta
No.
move. You can go ahead and move your token in that room, and I think I gotta maybe move them through the door. Yeah, this and when we looted or when you looted earlier, I didn't get into detail about this room, but I did give you the loot from the Baron. But a further search of this room will turn up a couple of other items. So in this room, as you're looking around, there's several crates in here with books. They look familiar to you as if they were the ones that traveled from the Osprey Herald along the Stahagan ship. And some of the one that had the false insert is hanging wide open next to the corpse of the Baron. And that is where Ervalor's books unfolded. So you're seeing that scene in the room. But when you look around the room itself, you're finding several crates that they also brought at the same time that had the books in them. And along the outside edges of the room, there are other shelves that have books stacked on them as well. And it looks they were essentially sorting books in this room. And as you look in here as well, there is a throne that the Baron would use. And on that throne, there is some fine cloth that's folded and sitting underneath the bottom.
Here's the definition of ancient languages. The character has mastered a difficult and obscure tongue, now primarily found in the writings of pedantic sages and sorcerers. The main use of the language is to read tomes of ancient secrets written by long dead mystics. This proficiency enables the character to either read, write, or speak the language, his choice.
What are your
So
thoughts on that?
I'm thinking read, write. If it's an ancient language, it may not be spoken any longer. But again, what's my choices?
Yeah, what I would say at this point is that you recognize it to be an ancient dwarven language. You don't know unless you're wanting to spend your proficiency to dedicate it to that. You don't know exactly what it says, but you definitely believe that it's ancient dwarf just based on your skill. So anybody,
I'll do that and spend it on ancient dwarven. Why not?
yeah. So just put that in parentheses beside that skill. Sorry.
Okay.
Go ahead, Rodolfo.
I want to take a look at the drone.
I'll move you in
There
there as
being
well. Let
route,
me just move
look
everything.
some look, some cream.
Would Kurza recognize any of the ancient dwarven texts we showed in the last session as well? Do they relate to these? Or
Which one specifically? I'm sorry, which ones were you thinking there?
I think it was last session we did find some ancient scrolls. I'm looking at least in my notes that
Yeah,
some
those.
old dwarven texts in the crates.
Yeah, there were you when you were looking through the books and some of the materials along the way and some of the things that got moved in the fake crates you made, you saw elven and dwarven books from different eras, some ancient, some modern. And so yeah, you definitely saw amongst that other ancient dwarven writing. Not to say that it's the same or not, but definitely there was a mix of that in there.
Is this room big enough for all of us to rest for the night and bar the door with the crates?
Yeah, you all fit in the room, so you could definitely rest in here for sure.
Do we think anybody's going to? I'm asking the party. Do we think anybody's going to come looking for this tribe soon?
They might. This is the leader's room, so if there's any questions, they're going to come here first. But we don't know anything about what else is out there. We did find a few other places on this map that might be useful too.
The reason I'm asking is because I have 1 hit point, and I won't be very much use in battle at this point.
Oh, I agree. I think it's important to rest. There's
Do we have any healing potions left? I guess my half was used to bring me up
I think I have a hot.
conscious. So I don't
I
have
would
one.
say, yeah, if there's any chance of us getting a rest, I would say to save the potions because I do have, I can do 2 cure light spells. I could actually do 3, I think, first level spells
You mean after you rest?
after a rest. Yeah.
And there were no secret or concealed doors in that pit, right?
Just what you found to be a recess that had a key
Oh,
in
that's
it.
right. Yes.
I searched
Very
the
good.
thing.
We found a bed that was not for a Sahaquin, but we haven't seen that person as of yet, which is interesting.
But I think if we bar the door, if we block the door with the crates, we may be able to rest and not really be that concerned with someone breaking in unless they're like a giant.
Yeah.
We put the throne in the way.
How many hours do we have to rest to get hit points back and spells? Specifically, what is that number?
8.
Please.
8.
I think it's 8.
It's 8. What was your question, Rodolfo? I thought you asked something, or you said you sent something.
The throne. I want to search the throne.
The throne, yeah. So you, along with the others, when you looked at the throne, you found a little area underneath it where there's a fine silk cloth, like a yard of cloth, basically, that was folded up as if like a sheet almost, and it's just sitting underneath the throne on this shelf. And further examination of the throne, if you would like, could roll to look for something.
Yes. What do I roll?
What are you looking for?
I'm looking for earrings, secret compartments, loaded stones, everything like that.
Got it. Okay. You do not find any other things like that catch your interest on the throne itself. The throne itself is crude, carved out of rock, almost looks like it was just a stalagmite that they carved it into and that it stood in place. And it's not particularly well carved either, but it's large, and the Baron was large until he ran into an elf in a box.
Throwing it into swords. Does the cloth bear any resemblance?
By the way, therefore, what just happened in here? These guys losing.
I got the jump on him, and let's just say you'd never put an elf in a box. Leave it there. How does the cloth, the yard of cloth, does it compare? Is there any similarity to the robe that we found on the Baron was wearing? Are there any symbols or anything like that? Does it look like it came from that, or I don't know?
There is no clear match in
Resemblance.
terms of what the Baron was wearing or any of the other Sahagin. It looks to be a lot finer than anything you've seen them carrying or wearing, just to your sort of non-expert eyes, as so far as like it being a textile. It seems like superior quality to you. It seems like something that's far out of the reach of these sea monsters.
I have an appraising skill. Can I take a closer look and see what I can?
Sure. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, go ahead and roll your check and let's see what you learn.
Here we go.
Yes, you're fairly confident that it's got a value somewhere between 50 and 100 gold pieces. That's because of the craftsmanship of it, how light it is. It seems unusually superior to you, and you definitely feel like that's its value at this point.
Any idea on the source material?
You believe it's
used to make it.
you believe it's some type of silk or similar fine threading that you don't quite know whether it was silk, but it seems a lot like silk. Would be the best way
Okay.
to describe
Yeah.
it.
I'd like to appraise the cloak the Baron was wearing too.
My character will say, so we were just supposed to find out where they were taking these things and we slaughtered them. What's next?
We were supposed to understand why they needed these things, why they, if there's the old books and such.
We didn't do that.
Yes.
So, Chris,
Not yet.
that robe just seems like a common robe to you that has the value of maybe a gold or 2 gold max. That's the way it appears to you.
We should definitely take that with us.
So, are you guys doing watch order in this room, or is that not decided yet?
I
Yeah.
strongly think we should rest here.
Yeah, it's more easily defendable.
Normally it would be, we have no idea where we are, who's coming, but this seems to be like the safest place.
Yeah, otherwise we got to forage out on the beach, and
Okay.
who knows what the hell's out there, what
Right.
kind of patrols they have.
Okay.
So as far as the healing proficiency, when it says I should be able to assist with the character, wounded character, the complete day of rest. I'm assuming that just camping for the evening or the night or trying to recover spells would not satisfy that, or would it? Because that would raise the 1 hit point per day to potentially 2.
Right. It's like a +1, right? If people are healing or resting and they're going to recover hit points from rest, you're going to give them an
Yeah.
additional hit point during on top of that rest recovery. That's the way I
Yeah.
interpret it.
If we get enough rest for the day, yeah.
Yeah.
I guess if it's quite enough, we don't get interrupted.
So that would maybe help you save some of your healing, having to use your healing spells, depending on how much that helps. Yeah.
Sure, yeah. And I
Yep.
do have, I think, a healing kit with me that would just give me a bonus to the proficiency roll.
When they're checking stuff out, looking around and looking for a healing kit, I'm gonna go do a little search of my own. Game Jamie, I'm looking for anything that looks like roots or something like anything that's like plant life in here.
Plant life in this cave.
I won't stray too far, but I'll go look around between like here and then that other room just to see if I can find anything natural that's growing in here. Even moss might work.
Let me see what your chances are here. Do you have a skill that helps you forage or something like that, or that helps you spot it? Is there a nature or some other proficiency you're thinking of to try to find it? Otherwise, maybe it's just a wisdom check. I don't think you have another skill that.
I don't really have anything like nature proficiency, but I can roll wisdom.
Yeah, do a wisdom. Just do a
not
wisdom
that
for me. That'd be cool. We'll take that. You're only looking for plant life, so it's not like you're looking for a king's
I don't
foil.
know what that was. That was certainly
Um,
wasn't the wrong. How's that one?
Yeah, okay. You're able to find, I would say, moss and algae in the water, in the pool of water where the eggs were. Maybe a significant enough of it that you could get a handful of it.
Oh no, I'm just looking for just in case because if something comes, I'm gonna nail it with my entangle because we're beat down about as bad as it can get.
Yeah, there is some moss and algae in this water, so if something were near there, but you don't see large plant life or rooted plant life in this area. And you don't recall having seen any since you've been ashore, but maybe you weren't looking yet.
That's no help then.
No.
We'll go back into the room.
I've got the watch order on the bottom right that I copied over. So Bart, you would be up first. Is it just you, or is there a pairing that I'm missing, or is that how it's going?
I think it might be just me, partly just because I might be taking the rounds and using my healing kit and my healing proficiency as well as herbalism to try and recoup any of the wounds that the party has suffered.
All right. So you are anyone else taking any other precautions or taking any other actions before you turn in for rest?
I'll definitely make sure in my bucket
There
that
was
my flint and steel and a torch are in there next to me.
there's the turn order, Nate. I was not playing off a turn order there because I thought we were kind of group actioning a little bit, but I will put it
Okay.
in there just to make sure everyone's getting a chance. Okay, so just move yourselves to where you're wanting to set your bedding or put yourself for rest,
Um,
and then
I'll sit in the throne.
Do we set up a little
Yeah.
campfire?
I'll pick up picture.
Do we
um,
set up a small campfire or something for those of us who don't have infravision, perhaps? Or
I see pretty cool.
Yeah, we can
Just like a candle or something like that.
I looked
Okay.
around, but I couldn't find any sort of
Yep.
plant life in here.
I do have my sister and just my holy my symbol makes a bit of smoke, but
I have a
that's
couple torches.
constantly going. It doesn't let off much light, but
so I've got a torch in the room now, so you guys should all have full light you can see in the room.
Was there a candle, a torch, or
Yeah.
something like that in the other room without a door that had the sleeping bag?
You didn't see one. You didn't see any torches over there in that room. There were no torches. You haven't seen any torches in this whole chamber.
And no indications as to who or what might be sleeping in there, since it's not a Sahak.
Yeah, you don't know beyond the fact that it would be suitable for most humanoids. You don't really know what was using it. There's no other real trail of information there.
Well,
All right. So
what was on the key, by the way, written on it?
it's an ancient Jorvan, and you distinctly make out the word Talmanther. I'll type that in.
Almanther.
And all right, we're gonna do the first watch. Unless anyone else has anything else, I'll just process through watch order as you guys defined it. And there's 6 of you. If we do hour and a half coverage, that gives you all about 7.5 hours of sleep. I know the elves don't need that much, unless there's another way you want to do it. You tell me if you want to do 2-hour watches and pair it differently. Just need 8 hours of rest to recover spells and stuff.
I'm good with that.
Okay.
Hour
Yeah.
plus each.
Hour and a half. All right.
as long as we can get our spells back in time to pray.
Just before we rest, I will spread some cantrips on the entrance.
Yes.
Good idea.
Did you
Nice.
want me to roll, Jamie, a healing proficiency check if I'm attempting to help people recover faster, if that will work in this circumstance? Or-
Yeah. I think that determines there's some determination that makes, right? If you make your check, then they get the +1. If you don't make it, they don't get it. Is that kind of how that works?
Yeah, I think so, because I can add or enhance
Yeah.
the daily healing rate is what it sounds like.
Okay.
Or,
Yes. So you can make that roll to see how well you're doing that before.
should be just gotta find it. Proficiencies. There we go. Proficiency check, right? Healing check. Wisdom. I think so. I've got a healing kit, so this might be the modifier is normally a -2, but I do have a healing kit that's supposed to give me a +1 as well as the herbalism skill. So I'm not sure if that zeroes
Yeah.
out or
Yeah. Let's make it a 0 out. In this case, I'm fine
Right.
with that.
so I'll just change the modifier, then hit the dice button and see what happens.
Here you go,
There you go.
Get some healing going.
All right.
Yeah. So everyone will
So
recover
yeah,
additional, right?
So I've got my sack of bandages out and some salves and herbs and whatnot that I'm wandering around between everybody and trying to assess the damage they've taken and see how I can assist.
Yeah, so everybody's getting a little bit of care from the cleric, and you'll all receive additional plus to your HP when we process the recovery point in the morning. Your watch goes by uneventfully. You're paying close attention, obviously, to noise out in the open chamber outside of here, and you weren't able to discern anything, no movement or anything significant. Water dripping occasionally, splashing sounds, but no solid movement or anything like that came your way. And that brings us to Ervalor. Anything that you're wanting to do uniquely here on your watch, or
Nothing like important to the party. Just
okay.
scribe to myself to keep myself awake but be paying attention. I'm not
Putting the sort of finishing touches on the tail of the Baron?
tail. Yes.
Okay, love it. All right, yeah. So
What?
you similarly are hearing some splashing sounds. And so you're hearing some water splashing sounds coming from, out in the direction of the chamber. It doesn't sound like heavy, but you're hearing water move is pretty much the extent of all you're hearing. You're not hearing anything else. Nothing
Okay.
comes to the door, and your time goes by. You're then gonna wake up Kurza.
I'm gonna tell Karza to be just basically what I heard. I don't know if it means anything, but hey, there were these weird splashing sounds.
Okay.
Is there any way? There's not like a what do you call that like thing that you can slide to peer out? There's no way to see what's going on outside, right?
No, I mean you could just crack the door and peek your head out, but there's no.
Oh, I thought we like barred it, and I wouldn't want to undo.
Oh, that's right. You did
Yeah.
jam a bunch of stuff in front of it, so it's
And
And so unless there's a crack in it somewhere,
yeah,
right.
if I can see out, then I'll
no
take a peek.
peepholes. Huh?
Okay. All right. Then I'll just tell Kurza.
It might be
Hey.
it would be one of those situations if you laid on the ground, you probably see a few feet, through the bottom of the door if someone were close to the door for sure. But you have pretty good hearing through the
Yeah.
crack in the bottom of the door, and again you're just hearing water movement, but nothing else.
On land based. Okay.
All right, yeah, it's eerily quiet throughout your watch. Nothing catches your attention during the hour and a half that you're sitting alert. Anything that else that you wanted to do during that time?
You said they were sorting the books in this room, right?
Yeah. Mhm.
Can I get, based on whether the piles are neat or sloppy, can I tell which ones they were trying to save?
That's a good question. So yeah, you basically browse around and look at the books as they're sorting them, and it looks pretty haphazard in terms of the shelves are categorized by language. So it looks like mostly the dwarven books are together, but it looks like they're all over the place. They're completely different types of eras that the writings are from. It doesn't look like it's a series or that they're connected to you, but you definitely can tell that they're sorting it by language or by the origin language. Beyond that, it doesn't seem like there's any particular order or pattern to the way that they had the books stacked or sorted. But
They seem to be gathering dwarven tomes.
there's a shelf with elven tomes on it too. So it seems like they've got both elven and dwarven pretty commonly, and there are some other common books, but those don't seem to be on shelves. Those seem to stay in the crates.
Okay, so basically, it looks like they're probably saving elven and dwarven texts for some reason. Do I have a skill for history? I have ancient history. So is that in that ancient history knowledge? Have I ever heard the term Telmanthar before?
Great question. That's awesome. Yeah, give that a roll and let's see how that registers.
Oh, cool.
Yes, you would then essentially be able to confirm that Talmanthar was a fabled dwarven settlement that is believed to have been wiped out in an earlier age, but they were a dwarven settlement that again was powerful in ancient times and was not heard from for a long period of time and was believed to have been wiped out. That would be your general knowledge of what Talmanthar is or was.
But the place rather than a person.
Exactly.
Hmm. Okay. That's probably all the pondering I'll do.
That's pretty good efficient use of your watch. That's good investigation there. And you're going to hand off to Ronnie next.
All right.
Ronnie, it
Okay.
was quiet for him. So, anything you're wanting to do while you're also keeping an eye out?
I'll just be hidden in that niche
All right.
and keep my ears open.
Yeah, about that, you definitely are hearing some noise coming from out further in the caverns. It doesn't sound like water. You definitely were hearing water and dripping and splashing and things along those lines. But now you're hearing actually what sounds like something solid moving, something heavy sliding or moving and shifting. If you would like to make a intelligence check, I'll potentially give you some more information and describe what you're hearing a little differently. Actually, you
Mm.
know what? What would be better? Go ahead and do. I know you have a detect noise, right? Don't you have a detect noise? Yeah, let's do that. And this will allow you to characterize the noise a little bit more specifically. But it sounds like a solid object. Just missed it, but again, this sounds more distinct than what you had been hearing up to this point and what was passed on to you being fourth in the watch order. Everyone's told you that it's just been water and dripping and nothing up to this point. And so this stands out to you. It perks up your attention that there's something
May
more
I
going on.
go under the door?
Say it again.
May I steal a peek?
Yeah.
With my eye
Yeah, you can
near
look.
the floor.
You can look under the door. You're able to see out about 5 to 10 feet from the bottom of the door. You see the bodies of the Sahagin that you slayed earlier laying there just a couple feet from the front of that door. You don't see any light or any other movement, but you're able to see that. And the noise is not heavy, but it's echoey in this chamber and in this cavern. So you're not sure exactly which direction but it doesn't sound like it's right outside the door. That's the best I can describe it for you.
Okay. I'll keep you alert.
And the sound eventually settles down. You don't hear it constantly. You just heard it intermittently, and your time comes to an end, and you awaken Lee, I assume. And what would you like to
Yeah.
pass on to Lee?
Yeah.
Lee, anything you want to do during your watch different or
Specifically, I'm hiding in this corner, holding on to my flint and steel on a torch.
okay? And keeping your eyes open. All right.
Yeah, keeping my eyes open in the darkness. Yeah, fighting to stay awake.
All right. Yeah, you're hearing, yes, similar to the first couple, you're hearing water splashing, dripping throughout the majority of the time that you're keeping watch. You don't hear any other movement or anything similar to what Ronnie described to you when he woke you. And your time comes to an end, which brings up the last in the order, which is Hamden.
Yeah, I'll go over to Hamden and wake him up. Say, shh, drink some of this. I'll give him half of a healing potion.
And I thank you for that.
Shh.
Go ahead and do a D4.
Do I do it?
Either whoever wants one of you. That's fine. Yeah. There you go.
And I put the stopper back in it and I put it back in my top. go back over here with my trusted torch and my flint and steel and go back to bed.
And Hamden, for you, you've actually at this point had 8 hours of sleep. So you're the last one on watch and you have the benefits of rest. So you would receive your constitution modifier if you have one, on top of an additional point that you're going to get from Bart and his healing proficiency, and an additional point for the night's rest. So minimum you could get would be 2 points. If you have a constitution modifier, you could potentially get more than 2 points of healing.
Is that for the hit point adjustment?
Under con, yeah.
Yeah, I don't. So I'd get 2 more, so I'd be at 5.
Sweet. You got more than I do.
So yeah, you're actually getting all the benefit of that and the heal. So you're on watch. And anything specifically you're wanting to do different? Are you going to be okay over by the door? All right.
Yeah, I'm gonna sit by the door, and I'm gonna grab a piece of wood and my dagger and start whittling as I'm paying attention to what's going on outside.
You get the distinct impression that there were some footprints that you or footsteps that you heard outside the door at some point. It sounds like something passed by and it sounded like footsteps to you. It's the sound has come and gone, but it was distinct to you that when you were listening, it seemed like it was footprints or footsteps, excuse me.
Could I tell whether they were heavy like a human or a normal like creature or what more
Mm.
like the other
How about
monster?
do a wisdom check and I'll give you maybe some more information on what you thought it might have been or size, that kind of information. There you go. So it sounded like a medium or large size creature, not a huge size creature coming by, and you would assume probably a medium sized creature that passed by. And based on the roll that you had, it to you, based on the echoes that you were hearing, seemed like it was coming north. So it was coming from the south and headed north outside of this room you're in. But again, steps came and went quickly as if they passed through that area and you never heard them get any closer or anything. And your time expires. And we'll say at this point, the rest of the party awaken and everybody can go ahead and take your healing, your con modifier. You get, again, 1 point for your rest from the heal and one just for resting anyway. So you're going to get 2 points minimum or potentially more if you have something else under con. Looks like Kurza's full.
Nope.
That's good. And Ervalor's full.
If you don't have many hit points, it's easy to get struck down and it's easy to get back to max.
It is. It's been a wild swing for Kurza here on that regard. But yeah, it's good to see you full again. For sure. Okay, so everybody's healed, it looks like, and you for the casters, you're for my clerics, you're obviously got your spells ready to go. Chris, you'll need to uh, prepare which spells you're going with today. You get a chance to
Yep.
replenish if you'd like.
And I'd also share my thoughts on the key that I had last night, so everybody's aware of that.
Yeah, Adam, you had a question about Bart?
Oh, I was just saying, Bart's probably going to do 2 of the cure lights, and he might do a command spell besides that this time today, if he's memorizing. Is all.
Oh, okay, yeah, gotcha.
I'll edit that here in the sheet here.
And what are you going with, Kurza? Are you gonna go with the same prepared spells or memorized spells for today?
I only get one, so I'm going to go with shield, I think.
Shield. Not a bad idea. Not a bad idea. Sure. Okay. All right.
I'd like
Uh,
to tell the party of like what I heard while I was on watch with the footsteps and how they were heading north and never came back down.
Could be a patrol.
and this is also Kurza has shared with you also the observations of the books, the key. So yeah, you guys are free to discuss those things. and then someone else heard movement. I think it was Ronnie. Ronnie heard some movement on his
I
watch.
heard a
So
lot of things.
this would be all, open information here in the morning that you guys can consider.
I'd like to try to track right away. If we think there were footsteps outside, I'd like to search around the area and see if there are footprints. And
I think we have to be careful. They could be setting traps for us.
they could be.
I
That's true.
don't believe they don't.
I'll give you guys a
I-
chance to discuss any like planning or strategy or things you want to do inside of this room first, and then we'll open the door and I can have you track and try some other things there.
Sure.
So anything else from a planning perspective that you want to do, or conversation around what you learned overnight? Or
I would like to see if my local history proficiency gives me any information on that dwarven settlement Talmanther.
did you say it was local history?
Yeah, I have local history.
'Kay.
Of all things.
Interesting. Yeah, you can make a roll. Maybe I can give you some other information about it.
That might have been why I took it. It was a charisma based skill. It's a slam dunk.
You're familiar with the fact that Talmanther would have been an ancient dwarven settlement that was somewhere in the Inner Sea, and during a prior age, there was basically what they called fallen stars that were meteors that were hurled into the Inner Sea that reshaped the Inner Sea and potentially buried Talmanther in the process, is what the way the legend goes. So you would just, as far as local history, know that legend about the Inner Sea, and you would know that's one of the reasons, or the reason, why they call it the Sea of Fallen Stars, because at that point these meteors were falling from the sky, sent from the gods to punish titans and others who were up to no good in the Inner Sea. So that's part of the history combined between your local history and the ancient history that Kurza has. You guys would be able to piece all that together.
So Kurz and I are powwowing over history lessons over here.
Yeah,
Yeah, really.
comparing notes and correlating. Yeah, for sure.
How dark is it in this room still?
You've got a torch. There's torch lit.
Who's only lasts half an hour? Who's burning their torches in here?
I'm assuming that when you guys gathered in the morning, you would have relit one. Maybe it was out while you were sleeping, but
Okay, yeah.
that's
I'll definitely start one then. I'm back up and
Yeah.
doing this. Mark off another one. Oh, the joy of the torch.
All right. So this is where we will need someone to lead the group actions a little bit and decide what you want to do once you leave this room. So I don't know, because we might have everyone wanting to go in a different direction. Well, what are your guys'
We need
thoughts?
to clear the caltrops first from the door.
True.
And
Recollect those, Ronnie, and
it's
then
possible the Sahakwan might have come by and pulled the dead bodies. It'd be interesting if they left them or not. Because if that was a Sahakwan patrol that came by to the footsteps you heard, then I don't know why would they leave their dead compatriots there, or not even call the alarm when they found them.
Hamden
Which would
said he
be-
only heard one thing of one bit.
Yeah, there's only one set of foot.
Oh, okay. I thought Hamden heard some as well.
I
Yes.
did. Oh, that's right. You heard some too.
Yeah, so we had Ronnie and Hamden both hearing some.
Busy place.
Did they set up an ambush for us when we come out the door?
go ahead and put
So
yourself
let me-
in the order that you want to march through the door, and
I'll go first.
Bart's wondering if
You go ahead.
anyone wants an actual, like a spell or phrases of my goddess of the mist to help heal.
I
whatever
want to
ails them yet.
go last.
Say again?
You want to read my bowl? And
go last. Okay.
Sorry. All
I
right.
think we should check when we
The other
go north.
I'm gonna ask Hamden if he wants the blessings of my Lady of the Mist
Absolutely.
help his vigor. It increases health. It looks like you're down a bit yet. I guess if you took a lot of damage in the last encounter. So
Yeah.
if we're gonna egress from this room, I would expend one of my cure light wounds upon you if you'll take it.
Absolutely.
What is our
Thank you.
plan now?
how many people? How
Yeah,
many
hold on.
Sahakwan were aboard that boat?
Go ahead and you can go ahead and roll that.
Who do you want to roll that? I guess.
Yeah, that's up to you guys. I know that's could be touchy. You don't
If you want
to.
I would think
Go ahead and roll it if you want, Hamden. I'll lay hands
What-
upon you.
what is the roll? Is it 6 or what?
I think it's a D. It's here. PDFs tonight because I'm outside. I try and find it.
No,
here,
that's cool. No
but,
problem. While you're looking that up, you guys almost have an order set. You've got Hamden first. You've got Bart in the middle, Ervalor towards the end, and Ronnie at the back.
So I see.
I'm thinking
Yeah.
from the
Sorry.
door to the left,
Why do that?
the order you want.
Sure.
Oh, that's all right. That's just.
Sorry for drawing.
You're fine. You're actually.
Okay.
You guys can do that if you need to point stuff out.
Okay.
The cure light is just a straight up D8.
I think it
if
is.
you want to roll that.
Yeah.
Yeah. If
Can we roll
Hamden, if you want to roll it, go ahead. Otherwise, I will if you don't want to. But it's up to you.
There you go. That'll do it.
that'll
Hold
get
on.
me full.
So it might be a little creepy. I've got my sister with a bit of smoke coming out of it, wafting it at you.
And I have
You feel better. It might be a little creepy, I guess, but
it's a little creepy.
Are there any other from Ronnie? Were there any other exits in your or pathways to
It's a
transit
straight, it's a
from where
straight
you
passage
entered in?
outside. Straight
Okay.
passage to
Eh.
the side and a little bit to the left, some yard, few yards away. I think 100 yards max. You'll get to the boat.
Yes, that should be what we should do. Let's go see if the Sahagin boat is still anchored out there.
That's a good question. Yeah.
All right.
All right.
Let's do it.
I've got
But-
my axe and my shield ready.
All right.
I have all my stuff.
So we'll take
On
you
our way-
guys outside the door. You open the door and nothing happens immediately that maybe you were fearing in the back of your mind. But when you come out into this area, you do see that several of the Sahagin corpses look like they were disturbed, moved around, shifted, and by your count, it appears as if a couple of the bodies may be missing. You remembered leaving more bloodied on the floor than you see at the moment. But there are still several here.
We should have 5 out here.
Wow.
How many are left?
There are 4 that you see when you emerge from the room. The Baron's corpse, I assume you guys kept that in the room with you, although we didn't really talk through that. But I'm gonna say the Baron's.
I've already used it as a pillow.
Yeah, I think all
Is
night it was something a trophy that you could look at. It was so the Baron's body's in there.
We should have put it on a peg outside the room. Damn it. That would have been all right.
That would have
anyway.
been cool. That would have been cool. So yeah, so you guys are advancing this way. Again, you've reached that point. You can go.
Are there visible footprints
Oh.
in the mud or anything? I just wanted to do that before anything around the corpses. To me,
Yeah.
it sounds like wild animals. Something was here scavenging the bodies.
Yeah, it's a great question. So yeah, if you want to do a tracking check,
Mhm.
that's perfect.
I'm going to keep the Baron's cloak on the off chance that it might be magical and be able to check it at some point.
Go for it. See. Go. See. Oh, okay.
All right. So yeah, so you do spot some tracks that look like they were left by some 4-legged creature that does not look to be Sahagin, and so it seems pretty distinct to you that there's something with 4 legs, medium size, potentially, but that's about all you're able to determine just by looking at the tracks.
Which
Okay.
direction were the
From
turn?
lifetime predator.
Yeah, they are
Predator.
going in
Yeah.
this direction. They started down from the south and then went in that direction like that, kind of traversed the rim. It looks like they did at one point come over towards these bodies as well. But again, you don't see any evidence of those missing bodies. So those are where the tracks are mainly.
No
Okay.
drag marks with blood going in a particular direction or anything?
It's like you'll see like a drag mark for a little bit and then it's just is gone. It doesn't continue as if it was being drugged the whole time. But yeah,
Maybe
there's some marks.
something ate it. So are we heading straight now?
To me, it seems the question of the boat is maybe a bigger priority. I think these
Valid
were
question.
wild animals, not intelligent, probably. But
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
check the boat.
So that means
And just
you're
water.
this way. Is this the way you want to go back the way that
Straight ahead over the pool of water.
Yeah.
Is that the way Ronnie came in? Because I remember us coming from the south, actually.
This is the way Ronnie came in.
There should be a body. I did it by myself.
Yeah, you guys get
Sure.
through this area and you do see a pool of water, as Ronnie talked about, where on the other side, a partially consumed corpse of a Sahagin, right where Ronnie told you it was. So you do spot that. You get to this water. It's shallow. It goes to, it's maybe about 18 inches deep at its deepest point if you cross straight through it.
So partially consumed as in partially in the water?
No, I
Um,
think you meant partially eaten.
Yeah, it looks like it's
Partially eaten?
half.
Okay.
It looks like it's half of a Sahagin. To be more specific, it
And
looks
that's
like
Right.
very clearly that the bottom half of the Sahagin is missing entirely.
So there's
there's
something in
some
here, something feasting on the death that we've dealt.
there
in
some
this-
scavenger creature.
Yeah.
Night habits. Like night habits.
So there was only one live Sahakwan that we left, which was the guard that Ronnie bypassed.
Yeah.
Huh. So one guy couldn't take a boat. So he might still be hanging around.
Yeah, you guys gonna continue through the water past the
Yes,
corpse? Okay.
Yeah, I don't want to stay in the water that long.
All right. You do get to the other side of the water. Hopefully, this is opening up for you guys on your views as well. As you are advancing down this hallway, you see the boat to your south. You turn that corner and you look south and
The
you
guard
see
was
it.
here.
And
Ah.
that is when you hear a shriek and you
Okay.
look up and you see a Sahagin who spots you around this corner here. Hopefully, you can see him. Some of you probably can't see him from your angle, but you hear the shriek and you know that there's definitely a Sahagin or some life form over in that direction. So go ahead and roll a group initiative. And whoever, I think our caller is Ronnie, so you can roll it.
I will felt that I want to hire this Sahwage. He's a very loyal guard. He was standing up by himself. Exemplary service. Very strong
Here.
work.
It's loyal to a fault, right?
Yeah, very
Yeah.
strong loyal work ethic.
He's holding down his spot. Okay. Yeah,
Ooh, nice.
the first, so this would be actually 2 to start with for you guys, and I'll roll him. Let me add you to the turn order. 2. All right.
Yeah.
You guys can just edit yourselves in the existing turn order that we have right now and use your weapon speed or whatever you're going to do with 2 added on. And
If you're just gonna move, does that add weapon speed, or you just
no, if you're
initiative?
just moving, it's just 2. You'll be able to go at 2. All right. Looks like
So I think I'm just going to step back, actually, probably holding my staff, but not attempting to attack with it.
okay.
I guess I'll leave it at 2. I've learned my lesson.
It burns, doesn't it? Okay, so go ahead and you can
It
move
hurts.
into position. We're
I'll just step right just back a couple feet. 'Cause I can't see very well here in the dark as a human, so I'm holding close to everyone and just unsure and holding my quarterstaff with me.
Daylight out now or not?
it,
After 8 hours in our nighttime foray, right? It should be daylight, right?
it would be daylight through that outside area. I'll
Oh,
make sure
okay. Yeah, we
You
can
want us to
see
mark
it.
off a food?
that's going to be coming through from the south. You guys should be able to see the ship, and in that direction of the ship is where the sunlight's coming from. Yeah,
So
everybody should
kinda
cross off from last night as well a ration. You should
right.
keep track of that. And sorry, go ahead.
I was just gonna say I get 3 squares away from me, maybe 4L. It goes dark, going towards the south.
Go ahead.
But
Right where you're at now is where you want to be. Perfect. And Lee,
I'll move up in front and I'll try to talk to the. And the dynamic lighting is still on. I definitely can't see much. And I'll tell it, this is your only chance to surrender. And we'll spare your life if you give us some information.
who had the torch? I think it was you. Let me turn that on. Okay. Go ahead and
Isn't it daylight now?
can you guys see right now? Can your token see? I don't think you can. I'm trying to get it to where you can see, and I think the best way is for me to just throw a torch on you for now versus fighting light. But go ahead. I'm sorry. So you wanted to do essentially a charisma check to persuade them, or
I think this is more of a it's your only chance to live talk. I think that's how I phrased it.
so surrender essentially is the question. Okay.
I don't know. I'm sorry if I said it when we weren't paying attention. What did I say? This is your only chance to give yourself up. If you give us some information, we'll let you live.
All right. Go ahead and do a charisma check, and I'll have him check to see if he's influenced.
Sure.
All right. You make a plea to the Sahagin. The Sahagin actually stops short of making any action and drops his spear on the ground in front of you. And it looks as if your words have and your numbers have convinced him that was his best course of action. The Sahagin has given himself up and is
I'll ask it, how well do you understand the common tongue?
enough to not want to die.
Do you have a name?
It
What do your people call you?
matters not now. I've seen what you've done. I didn't want to believe it was true.
I pull out the Baron's cloak and kind of, your Baron didn't do well either. And he only fought one of us.
He's like looking at all of the wounds that you guys have all over you, like the different holes you have in your clothes and stuff, and he's confused how you've lasted.
How awesome would it be if we had his head? Damn it.
I'm gonna mark him as being essentially under your influence at the moment in terms of surrendered. I'll mark him with that. And that's where we'll stop for this evening.
Excellent.
And that way we can pick up here and you can start to chip away and ask questions and go from there. But you see the boat, by the way, it's still there. It's daylight out. In your estimation, it's been a little less than 24 hours since you left the Osprey Herald. And you've already, like you said, wiped out quite a few Sahagin. And we'll pick up right here in this hallway when we come back. So I'll put the XP award out. I'll try to do that a little quicker, and we may very likely have several people level up based on what I think we're going to have. I'll let you know on Discord, and let me know if you got any questions about leveling up or anything about the game, and I'll be glad to answer that. But all good? Everybody good?
Awesome.
I almost TPK'd you guys, and it was like the dice had it out for you, but thankfully, Ervalor was up to some heroics, because that would have gotten real ugly. That was pretty epic. Great job surviving. And to those of you that I dropped on the ground, my apologies. It probably won't be the last time, but you made it through, and congratulations. So,
Nice. Thank you, guys.
Cool.
all right,
Yeah,
gentlemen.
thank you.
Thanks everyone for the
bye.
great game. Have a good weekend, and we'll
Okay.
catch you in 2 weeks.
Yep.
All right.
Bye.
Bye bye.
Thanks, guys. Thanks,
Thank
Jamie.
you.
Great fun.